process. So you go from creators who will give you some new designs to people who are going to actually not only develop it in detail, but they're going to build the factory. The developers are going to make it possible for you to actually create and sell the product. The executors are the marketing people. They're going to carry out that product into the market, and with the help of the financiers who have the money to allow you to pay for the advertising and the sales force and so on. So we use that model very much in the book Winning at Innovation. I like this idea of the 3 boxes. Namely, you got to manage your business as well as possible today with the products you have. But you have to also work on some new products. Work on some new products. And then maybe work on at least one big new idea, if possible. Most people never get to the 3rd box. The 3rd box would have been the idea of an electric car. You could always have been on the 1st box, making a pretty good fuel-efficient car, or the 2nd box, which would be a lot of other improvements on the normal fuel-efficient car. But the 3rd box is maybe the future is an electric car. And that's the way Musk works. He dreams up brand new things. He wants to take us to Mars. That will pass by. But that electric car was really a creative genius act. So, by the way, Tiger talked about the CMOs, and he made some very good statements. I still believe CMO is the right word. For this reason, there's a whole community now of CMOs. So many companies have CMOs. These CMOs have meetings with each other, even though they're not competing. They're already, some CMOs are writing articles on how to really do the job better. They have a community. There is no community of chief growth officers. Maybe it will become a community. The other names are interesting, but think twice about whether you think marketing should be called growth instead of marketing, or customer centricity. But make sure that someone is taking control. In the company Fujifilm, they have 12 CMOs because they have 12 companies. And there's no CMO on top of the 12 CMOs. So sometimes the CMO is running a part of the business that's different than the other parts of the business. I won't say more about the CMOs. I won't say more there. An interesting book did come out on shifts in the marketplace. The first was a shift from creating just a strategy, a marketing strategy, to driving business growth. That's a more dynamic challenge. You, the CMO, yeah, you should create a strategy. No. Beyond that, drive the growth of the business in all ways possible. And sometimes we used to say, and control the message. By the way, you can't control the message anymore. You're having less and less control about what people say about your product. Facebook alone allows people to badmouth or goodmouth your product. So you're not controlling the message, but you want to galvanize your network to put your message out as strongly as possible. Yes, I want improvement. By the way, I just came from Japan, and Japan has introduced many theories of management. One of them is called Kaizen, and they believe in it. Everyone in the company improving what they're doing all the time. At Toyota, 75% of the workers in any year, of the workers in the factory, 75% come up with something new that could make the car better or the work they're doing on the car better. Can you imagine a culture where everyone believes that make your work better and more meaningful? Now, maybe they could do that because they had lifetime employment. What it meant is that some worker in Japan could say, you know, I'm being paid, but I don't really earn it. We don't even have to have me doing that. Now, that happens in many companies, that there are people in every company who are not creating customer value or any kind of value. But we live with them because we hate. They're human beings. We don't want them to lose a job. In Japan, it's lifetime employment. So I am free to say my job isn't necessary because they'll give me a different job that is necessary. So one of the concepts they introduced is called Kaizen, improving everything all the time. The other concept is several things about high quality. They gave that prize, the Baldrige Prize or whatever, for the highest quality. The Japanese love quality. Very important for China because China got into markets on low cost and average quality. Now, the future of China is not to make cheap products, but to sophisticate the products. Because you can make cheap products outside of China. Just go to Cambodia, Laos, elsewhere to make those products. So high quality and the measures of high quality is very important. So just moving on, besides managing the marketing investment, inspire the idea of marketing excellence. And instead of just being operational, have a relentless focus always on the customer and the customer's needs. It's a good book written by Scott Davis. Now, let me tell you what I think is happening in marketing and in business. The old story of business is maximize profits. If they do that, who do the profits go to? The shareholders, the owners. So the old theory was you create a business to make the one who started the business as wealthy as possible, or the people who bought and financed the business to make them as wealthy as possible. So the new story is different. The new story, first of all, takes the form of maximize the welfare of the stakeholders, not the shareholders. And the stakeholders are the following. Of course, the shareholders, but also the customers, making them better off, the employees better off, your suppliers better off, your distributors better off. So the problem becomes, when you make profits, share the profits with those who contributed to the profits. And you're going to be better at profits if you focus on the stakeholders, because they all have something to gain. When you're only focusing on the shareholders, why, as an employee, do I have to care? What's in it for me? So this is the new philosophy. Actually, the philosophy goes further. What is the purpose of your business? Do you have a purpose? And what are you doing about the environment? Except harming the environment. Are you using only fossil fuels? Or are you also investing in solar energy and wind energy and so on? What about poor people? Do you care about them? By the way, if companies don't care about poor people, or they don't care about low wages, who's going to buy your products? If you don't leave enough money in the hands of people to buy necessities, you're going to close your factory. So there is a little suicidal thinking when you only reward the shareholders. So the old philosophy, as I said, was different. we think that the movement toward a broader view of a business was originally called CSR, corporate social responsibility. You remember that language, corporate social responsibility? That took the form of philanthropy. I'm a good business. I'm not selfish. I'll give money to the cancer fund or to the Girl Scouts. Philanthropy is no longer enough, especially if your company is harming the environment. So you look, the new concept, Michael Porter was very important in developing CSV, corporate shared value. Corporate shared value is, again, sharing the value with the stakeholders. I've developed something called brand activism. Maybe I can show you what I mean. My original work on the social dimension of business was called Corporate Social Responsibility, and we studied 45 companies to see what they're giving to society, back to society. We learned a lot. Oh, we were very proud of a lot of the companies that had a cause, that wanted to make life better in some way. It could have been to fight poverty, or to fight hunger, or to have better housing for people, whatever. Usually it was a cause related to their business, because then we believe more in their sincerity if they're improving a cause that's related to their business. Now, brand activism, I just finished writing, says that you're not doing enough with your brand. Your brand is probably just talking about the value proposition, namely lowest prices at Walmart, best design at Apple. Sure, your brand should stand for your value proposition, but it should now also show your values. Your values as an organization. Do you care about more than just money making? So moving from just good value that you create to expressing to your public through your brand what you care about is important. And you know, when I choose a brand from 3 competitors, I will always lean to the one that is more ecological, more caring about the world, than the one that's just selling me a good product to make money. So watch for that your brand should be.
第五单元，听广播。吃完晚饭，我和汉斯回到宿舍。我打开收音机，想听音乐。收音机里广播的是小故事。我对汉斯说：“汉斯，快来听，是小故事，很有意思。”听完广播，我关上收音机，问汉斯：“怎么样？刚才的故事听懂了吗？”听懂了，医生，没都听懂。我也没都听懂。你常听广播吗？我常听，我常听天气预报。明天天气预报怎么样？明天晴，最高气温14度。我们还没说完，听见丁文在外边叫我，我开开门问他，丁文，什么事？快来看电视，今天的节目是排球赛，中国队对美国队。我们说这个节目不能不看。说完，我们3个一块去电视室了。 Bài 5. Nghe phát thanh. Ăn cơm tối xong, mình và Hán sư trở lại ký túc xá. Mình mở radio, muốn nghe âm nhạc. Radio phát thanh một câu chuyện nhỏ. Mình nói với Hán sư: Hán sư, mau đến nghe nè. Là một câu chuyện nhỏ rất là thú vị. Nghe xong phát thanh, mình tắt radio, hỏi Hán sư: như thế nào? Câu chuyện vừa nghe hiểu không? Hiểu một chút, không hiểu hết. Mình cũng không hiểu hết. Bạn thường nghe phát thanh không? Mình thường nghe dự báo thời tiết. Ngày mai dự báo thời tiết như thế nào? Ngày mai trời trong xanh, nhiệt độ cao nhất 14 độ. Chúng mình vẫn chưa nói chuyện xong. Nghe thấy Đinh Văn ở bên ngoài kêu mình. Mình mở cửa hỏi anh ấy: Đinh Văn, chuyện gì vậy? Mau đến xem truyền hình. Hôm nay tiết mục là trận đấu bóng chuyền. Đội Trung Quốc với đội Mỹ. Chúng mình nói tiết mục như thế này không thể không xem được. Nói xong, chúng mình 3 người cùng nhau vào phòng truyền hình xem.